Hello and welcome back to Newbreed Film Reviews. We are here on episode 6, and I'm here with Paul.
Hey.
And I'm here with Dave.
What's up?
And what we're going to talk about... what we're going to talk about here, Dave just forgot for 1 second that we're doing a video cast and a podcast. So when he points his finger, all of you that are listening to us on podcasts, you can't hear him point his finger, but he did point his finger at the screen for you.
So
Yes.
I just want to say I apologize to the 4 listeners out there. I forgot. I forget a lot of things.
All 4 of you, he pointed at you, just so you know.
It's kind of scary how much I forget.
Yeah, because we are now on iTunes and Podomatic, right?
Yep.
Yeah, let's did we go over that?
No, we
We
didn't.
haven't discussed that
Oh,
yet.
we didn't go over that.
No.
Nobody knows about that.
Who wants to drop that little tidbit?
Oh, you mean the
go
one
right
I
ahead,
just said?
Go right ahead. All right. So I'm going to say it's a momentous occasion for the Newbreed
Yes,
crew.
it is.
We would pop some bubbly, but I don't have any, and I don't think Bride does. We're not anywhere near each other right now.
No.
And we're poor. We can't afford bubbly.
So you're assuming
but-
that I do, though.
Paul, you pop bubbly. Don't even... I know you do.
I'll drink it if it's in front of me.
But the news is that Newbreed Reviews is now on iTunes. It's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know what to say about it other than it's pretty cool. It's more exposure. We might have to watch what we say. Maybe not. I don't
No. iTunes doesn't care about that. As long as we put the explicit language symbol on there, we should be okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the latest with the Newbreed Films crew.
Yep, so now you don't have to just watch us. If you want to listen to us in your car, when you're at work, when you're at the gym, whatever, you can do that. It might make it a little bit easier than having to watch the YouTube video.
Paul's buzzing right
you're
now.
buzzing.
Again?
Apologize to the 4 listeners out there again.
Fucking cable. Is this better?
Today yes, that's good.
Okay.
Today on the show, what we're going to talk about is our favorite directors.
Mhm.
This one's obviously near and dear to my heart with... coming from a director's point of view, these are the guys that I respect that make the movies work. This is what makes them happen, From as far as he's the commander in chief, he's the guy that's on set that makes sure that whatever comes out to the projectors on your movie theater screen is what's supposed to, So these guys are the well-respected ones in the industry, along with the producers. But when it comes to a director, the entire film either makes it or breaks on his shoulders. So, these guys that we're going to talk about obviously have done a successful job with it, but anybody that steps up and is a director, there's a lot of respect for him because you know what? You put yourself out there and everyone in the entire film is looking to you to say, is this what's supposed to happen? Is this what's supposed to happen? Is this what's supposed to happen? And you're going to make choices whether it's going to work out real good or not going to really work out. So these guys obviously did good jobs with making good decisions and putting in a lot of good work for them. So, Paulie, I'm going to have you start us off with talking about one of your favorite directors.
One of my favorite directors. I'm going to start at the top, and I think we're all going to probably have this one on our list. Steven Spielberg.
Oh, of course.
Right. So what are some of your guys' what are your favorite movies from him?
You want to extend the podcast to 2 hours?
Yeah.
give me just your top, your top 2.
Dude, he's been involved with so many things like Indiana Jones, he was involved with that, Jurassic Park, E.T. What am I missing?
The Goonies, Jaws, Schindler's List, Shaving Ryan's
List.
Privates.
Yeah,
Saving Private Ryan.
Private something, which is...
To be honest, I looked him up today too, and he has all those like crazy movies that are ingrained within us, but he has like 163 producer credits or something like that.
I saw that
something
too.
ridiculous.
Stuff like The Terminal. I saw that. And
he's got his hands in everything, even TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I want to kind of touch on him too. That was like one of my picks, Paul.
Yeah,
I assume so. I mean, I think that was
all of us. Yeah,
was a given. One that's probably a little bit off of your guys' list is actually I'm probably gonna have 2 that are off your guys' list, but one is Judd Apatow. Now, I think
never heard of the guy.
No, me either. Tell me the movies and I'll probably know, you know?
Knocked Up, 40-Year-Old Virgin, This Is 40. He did a TV show, Freaks and Geeks. You know, he's kind of that,
He's Seth Rogen's director.
Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, like that whole group of
The crew, yeah.
people. And I think he's great. I love everything he does for the most part.
He does a lot of funny movies. He does a good job.
So,
40-year-old Virgin was funny.
it was. I just watched that the other day just because I could, and it just doesn't get old to me. But it's funny because when I see where they're working at in 40-Year-Old Virgin, it reminds me back of Best Buy and that Tweeter. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of like a mixture of both of those stores together.
I felt it was more like
brings
Tweeter.
Me back. It was in
because we got away with whatever the heck we wanted at Tweeter.
We did. Dance parties in the boom room.
Got some feedback, Paulie.
Fuck, man. Hold on. You guys can take it over. I'm gonna try and fix this.
All right, Dave, you want to go?
Yeah, I could go. Got a little.
Joe, try not to get distracted.
We got some bees flying around. Yeah. So okay. So I picked a couple of new directors, and I got some old school ones. One of them, Paul already mentioned. It was Steven Spielberg. I mean, what can I say about the guy that hasn't been already said? He's a legend. He's amazing. He's arguably, you can make this argument for him and say he's the best director of all time. Like that's how.
Oh, yeah, I'll get in. I'll get on that argument. Yeah, definitely.
You can't. Yeah, you can't flat out say he is, but he's in the argument for it. I would say him. I would say another old school that's one of my favorites. I'm gonna say James Cameron. I think James Cameron. Yep. James Cameron is
definitely earns honorable mention in my book.
Yeah, he's in that argument to me of like legend director, like one of the best ever.
The things about James Cameron though is that his two biggest movies obviously were Titanic and Avatar. I mean, he's got other movies, but those were like his two biggest ones, and they were
biggest blockbuster hits.
Dude,
the biggest blockbusters.
No, Terminator.
He's saying blockbusters though.
Terminator was good, but it wasn't what Avatar
like Titanic or Avatar status. Yeah, I know what you were saying. Blockbuster.
But all of his movies are so freaking big that it's just like Avatar. I went and saw that in IMAX 3D, and I left that theater saying that was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
just because it was so big of a movie. And I think he does that very well. Same thing with Titanic.
And he worked with Panasonic to make and develop like the 3D technology that they used and the 3D technology was being used. I mean, he worked hand in hand with Panasonic to make that movie with the double camera lenses next to each other to give you that both depth of field. So
Cameron, he is one of those directors. He's like Spielberg, where like he can like make magic on screen. Like he has a way of like telling stories. Like Aliens is like one of my favorite movies of all time. The Terminator franchise, that's from his brain. If I recall, I remember reading he wrote down that concept on a napkin in like a restaurant or something.
In a restaurant, yeah.
Like it just came to him. I think he had a dream. It came from a dream, but like he sat there and scribbled something on a napkin, and we have "I'll be back." Like you know what I mean? Like Cameron. I can rant, so I'm not gonna run this podcast right now. I'm just gonna drop one more old school one. Nobody does crime films like this man. He has a specific style. He's gritty. Martin Scorsese.
Of course, yeah. He's on my list too.
Raging Bull, Cape Fear with De Niro, probably like one of my top 5 movies. Casino, Goodfellas,
Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver. What's one of the new ones he did? With
so DiCaprio. Not just crime movies.
Wolf on Wall Street.
Wolf on Wall Street, like mafia
Shutter
type
Island.
Movies.
He did Shutter Island, which is cool too. Yeah.
Dude,
he did The Departed.
Shutter Island? I didn't know.
He did The Departed as well.
Departed.
That was also a good movie.
He is a fantastic.
You know what's funny
director.
though? There's a switch. So all right, think all the 5 movies that you named in the first part. Who's the lead actor?
De Niro.
That's his
and
boy.
who's the 5 movies that you just named later on?
My man crush,
like
Leo.
The Departed, The Wolf on Wall Street, Shutter Island, Aviator he did. So like he dropped De Niro and then picked up DiCaprio. So for all his films.
But you know what? He's not the only one to do that. Like
No, I know. Yeah, but he does that. He picks his actor and puts him in all his movies. Yep.
Yeah, he does, and it's like kudos to the actor to like fall into different roles. You know what I mean?
By the way, speaking of De Niro, I'm sorry, this is a little bit off topic, but I watched Silver Lining yesterday with
Silver Linings Playbook.
With Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence and De Niro. I thought it was great.
It was a good movie.
I thought it was a great movie. I was very surprised because I was like, yeah, like when I saw Bradley Cooper, I like him, but I don't know how I feel about him in a dramatic role. Jennifer Lawrence is attractive, but I liked her in Hunger Games so far, and that's been mostly it. But then I saw this, and I was just like, all right.
I hate to say it, you got some feedback, buddy.
I can't hear, like, normally I can hear it in my microphone or my headset, but what kind of feedback? Is it a humming or is it?
It's like a humming.
Echo.
It's like a little humming. We're going to get dropped from iTunes now.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul.
Just messing, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
I'm going to end this. I'm going to jump back in with you guys in a minute.
I'm just messing, Paul. All right, so I guess I'm going to have to put a Newbreed intermission graphic. The first. Yep. It's just gonna go. It's gonna go bleep, and it's gonna just kick right in. So.
How you doing, Dave? Good.
I'm okay.
Are you warm there? It's snowing here right now. You know that?
Dude, it's snowing there right now.
Yes.
Yep.
It's kind of warm.
Can you
Are you back?
What's up, Paul?
Can you hear me without humming?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
So, whose go is it? It was Bryce?
Yeah. I can go now. You were talking about Cameron.
Yeah, I was talking about Cameron.
Scorsese too.
Scorsese. I had two newer age guys. I'll hold off on.
Well, we can come back to it. I'll take.
I have more guys too.
Yeah, I have more. I have a bunch of.
You know what I was gonna bring up? I forgot. Who's the guy that works with Depp all the time? Johnny Depp worked
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They got a bromance going on.
They do. So if those guys that you just mentioned, well, Paulie, I didn't even know his name or who he was, so I learned something new today.
I'm surprised about that.
I know, but as far as obviously James Cameron, obviously Spielberg, obviously Scorsese, those are all on my list. Paulie disagrees with this one, but Quentin Tarantino, I think, is an awesome director.
Legend.
I don't take that away from him. I think he's great. I just personally don't enjoy his films.
I could touch on some Tarantino, Brian, when you're done.
So right. So as far as obviously my favorite ones would be like Pulp Fiction. Reservoir Dogs is really one of my favorites. Django Unchained, if you haven't seen that, that's really good. That's a newer one. The Grindhouse films. The guy has a way to make you sit and watch dialogue on a screen and be entertained. He can sit there and have two guys talking at a car or two guys talking in a restaurant and keep you entertained with that process. I mean, the actors are doing it, but the dialogue is what's keeping it going. So Tarantino, and he started out, if you I don't know if you know this, Reservoir Dogs was his Sundance film debut. So he actually went to Sundance with Reservoir Dogs and developed it, and that's how he got his that's how we got his start. So you want to talk on Tarantino?
For the people listening, Paul, I was just showing off my new Joker background, and I got this like sick Joker poster. It's badass, and
I like it.
Paul showed me like a comic. I'm not really a huge Joker fan. I'm actually a huge Punisher fan. This is probably like the 6th time I mention that. But
so then ship that poster up here, man. I'll take it.
It's badass, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So Tarantino, Brian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tarantino,
I got it. Yep.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said, and I'm gonna say that Tarantino, as far as dialogue, to add to what you said, he's a master at small talk.
Yeah.
Like he'll how do I even describe this? Like he'll have like a crime caper, like some kind of crazy event going on, like some weird circumstance, and he'll have the guys talk about what
Burgers. Remember, like burgers?
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what underwear they're wearing, or like some weird like conversation, and he like makes it work, and it's like real talk. Like he makes it like gritty and like realistic, like how regular people talk. He is an absolute master at that. Tarantino's a good pick.
Yeah. So, I got one more, and then we'll jump back to round robin that I want to touch on. Another one of my favorites is David Fincher. I don't know if you guys
I know the
him.
name. Please remind me who.
So-
what he does.
He's
He
fancy
just-
guy, right? Like
Well, you're gonna see the movies when I list them off. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, I got it. So he just did Gone Girl, which I don't know if you guys got to see that. That's one
I
of his
haven't
new
seen
movies.
it. I was gonna pick it up today actually in Redbox, but they were all out.
is that with Casey Affleck or Ben Affleck?
Ben.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
It's got MPH
Gone
in
Baby,
it, right?
Gone Baby Gone was the Casey Affleck one.
Okay.
That's the
There's
no,
a
but
lot of babies there and girls. I get confused.
Yeah.
It's all
well, he
wrong.
did. David Fincher did Fight Club, and he did Seven,
both.
and he also
obviously
did-
excellent movies.
and he did like Panic Room, which I thought was a pretty good one.
That
And
was
he
with
did
Jodie
several,
Foster, right?
yeah, where
Yeah.
they had like that locked in that room, and it's got that Twilight girl as a young girl. But I like his style, especially like how he shot Fight Club and how he shot Seven, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fight Club
Like
was
that.
twisted, man. 7 was twisted too.
yeah.
He
So
kind of
I like him.
Also.
Yeah, it took him like he hasn't had anything since Gone Girl. It's been like a little while since he's put out something that's been pretty good, but I like him.
Yeah, he's pretty
Wrong
good.
Girl just came out like 6 months ago.
Oh no, I'm saying from Gone Girl just
Oh,
came out, but
between-
it's been a
oh,
while
oh.
since he came out with a movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
a good one, you know.
Well, he's probably that type of director who will only take a job that he's 100% into.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
So-
like on the acting side, that's like Daniel Day-Lewis. Dude comes out
Right.
with a
Yeah.
movie every 10 years, but like,
Mhm.
but when he does come out with a movie, it's amazing. You know, his role. Bill the Butcher from Gangs of New York.
Right.
Another one of my favorites was
It was a great movie.
oh god, I forgot the guy's name, the character's name. It was from that movie. He was like an oil tycoon. There Will Be Blood. That's the name of the movie. Bastard in a Basket. Like that's a great movie. That's a pure acting movie, by the way. Like if you can't appreciate acting, you can kill yourself.
I'll actually agree with that statement.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah, so-
basically if you're a
Let me
Michael
see
Bay
that.
fan.
Let me see the last he did like the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the remake, the one that's got the guy
Girl with the dragon, what now?
Dragon
Two?
Tattoo. Dragon
Two?
Tattoo.
I thought you said something worse than that. I was like, hey,
You
buddy,
did.
PG-13.
And
iTunes.
then-
That's actually that falls under PG-13.
And then he did like the Social Network. He did the Curious
Which-
Case of Benjamin Button.
I thought that was good. Social
Yeah.
Network, I've never actually watched it.
Well, those are until Gone Girl. Those are like the couple that he did in between. So I don't know. I think he's pretty
That was
good. I like
very
his style.
interesting. Yeah.
I like his style.
Yeah, he's good. I got two for you guys.
Yep.
Newer age guys. This one guy I'm really excited for, like an upcoming movie he's coming out with. That's going to be his baby. Neil Blomkamp. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He's the director of District 9. He did Elysium, and now he just took over the Alien franchise. He's gonna do.
Oh, nice.
He's gonna do a new Alien, and he has such a specific style. He's very in tune, like with like sci-fi, and I think he's like kind of cutting edge, like with his stories and his direction, like with movies. I like his style a lot, and it's gritty too. It's really gritty, his style. Like people get murked in his movies, like brutally. Another newer age director. He's weird, very odd style. Nicholas Winding Refn. He did Drive. He did Only God Forgives. They both have Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
He did Bronson, which was the first movie I saw with Tom Hardy that gave me my man crush on him. Like Tom Hardy did a fantastic job, and that movie
He
was
did.
just amazing.
Mhm.
Valhalla Rising, another weird, dark, like gritty movie.
Yeah.
I forgot the main actor, but the main actor in that is the guy that does the TV show Hannibal right now. He was also in Clash of the Titans. He was the guy who got turned to stone and like smirked. If you didn't see that, you can go kill yourself.
I'll see you guys later. I can hear the feedback.
Oh God, Paul. What is
You're
that?
killing us.
It's like the connection.
Paul, you're fired.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. I spent all this time trying to get it straightened out before we went on the air tonight, and there's none right now, right?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Do you have like
All right.
do you have like multiple connections going on there? Some duct tape?
No,
some
I have
aluminum foil.
I have a $300 microphone going
Ooh.
into a $10 freaking XLR cable going into my $200 microphone preamp, which is going from a 1/4 inch to an 1/8 inch jack into the mic in on my laptop.
Yeah, so you're down converting everything. You're down converting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Paulie, you're up.
All right. Next one. Some people love this guy. Some people say he's okay. Christopher Nolan.
Yep.
Love him.
Okay.
He's epic.
Batman
That's
Begins.
it. And if I could describe him in one word as a director, epic.
He's
Epic's
That's what he
acceptable.
tries to go
He's
for.
epical. I think that's the word. Epical.
Yeah.
I'll take that. So he had me with Prestige. Actually, let me
Prestige is
take
a
it
good
back
one,
even
yes.
further. He had me at Memento, but I didn't know that it was him until
Memento.
later on.
Weird,
And
but
then-
good.
Yeah. That was definitely
And
an odd movie.
Batman Begins was way too slow for me, and I love the Batman movies. I love the whole franchise as like a whole, but the first one was too slow, and then Dark Knight, and I was like, all right, this guy's good. And then Dark Knight Rises, and I was like, oh, mind blown. Even though a lot of people thought that Dark Knight Rises was the worst of the franchise, I thought it was the best. But he had Prestige was such a well done movie. The plot line was just, I think, had it been anybody else, it would have been very mediocre. But he really had you immersed in that world. And then Inception, which I know you guys have said in the past you didn't really love Inception.
No,
But-
I like Inception. I just don't think it was like groundbreaking special effects wise.
Yeah.
You know,
That's right. That was
my
our
gripe.
discussion about it.
I like the idea. Like I like the concept of it. It's a cool, really cool idea that you could steal something out of someone's dreams. It's just, you know,
Yeah, it was.
I just don't.
Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say special effects wise, it probably could have been more. It could have been a lot more. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to steal Paul's time, but just on Inception,
Fine.
I think it was a really good movie. But call me crazy, it's not one of those movies that I can watch often. Like, it's like once I see it once, you got to be like in the mood to watch Inception because it makes your brain work. Like, it makes my brain tired. You know what I mean? But it's a good movie.
All right, so my last director that I have written down here, and this one is one of those directors that you either absolutely love or I think you absolutely hate. He's come out with some really good movies, come out with some really shitty movies, but I seem to like them all, and that's Kevin Smith. So
Kevin
Okay.
Smith. Yep. He's got a little following. He's got a little
Yeah.
following with his movies. Yep.
Yeah, he's all right.
you know, I admittedly haven't seen his non-View Askew movies, so like I saw Jersey Girl a long time ago. I haven't seen Tusk. I haven't seen Zack and Miri Make a Porno. The only non-View
one.
Askew, was it good?
It was funny.
I gave it 4 stars.
Jay's character was funny.
Okay.
I don't know what his real name is.
I didn't really see that.
His real name
From
is
Jay and
Jason
Silent
Biggs.
Bob, you know.
His real name is
Correct.
Jay.
So Jay did pretty fun. He was pretty funny in there.
Oh, you were saying like in the movie.
In the movie.
Like, what
Yeah,
his
in
character
that
name
movie.
was.
In that movie. yes.
I think obviously Clerks was very artistic of a movie. It got him to where he is. Mallrats, I think, was also awesome. Most people would say it was a really shitty movie, but I found it very punk rockish
Didn't he do
in
Chasing
the sense that he did Chasing Amy,
was about
which
to
was
say,
like
didn't he
his
do
biggest
Chasing
It was
hit.
Amy?
kind of cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his girlfriend at the time.
What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yep, Joey Lauren Adams. That was his girlfriend.
All right.
But there was a movie that came out not too long ago by that was basically funded by him and released by him. Like he didn't have any distribution deals or anything like that, and it was called Red State. And it was like his first take on his first attempt at like a horror movie. And I think it's really good. It's basically like a church, based about a church very similar to Westboro Baptist Church, those crazy people out in like Texas or whatever that picket
they picket
military
of army people.
Yeah. So it's basically based like them, and there's lots of death and standoffs, and it's actually a very good movie.
Wait a minute, who did this? Kevin Smith?
Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
He did like a horror, like crazy movie?
It was his first attempt. He just did one last year called Tusk that started from a podcast that he had done with his producer, Scott Mosier. They just started talking about some ad that was in the paper, like a legit ad about this guy who answered, or who put an ad saying, look for a roommate. Yeah. All the stuff's included if you dress like a walrus, whatever. But that's not the movie I'm talking about. Red State came out a few years ago. And it's just about a very conservative, overly conservative church.
Yeah.
That's a little deep seated. So
dude,
I highly recommend it to anyone. I think it's a great movie.
You reminded me, speaking of somebody like having their hands in a pot of like horror. This guy didn't like try to do like horror. He jumped right into horror, and like Hollywood just gave him a shot right off the bat. He came from the music industry. Do you know who I'm talking about? A little trivia here.
Oh, Rob Zombie.
Boom. Rob Zombie.
He does awesome work.
Like, I'm going to say, I like Rob Zombie. I think something's wrong with him. Like, which
I think something is extremely wrong with him.
Which makes him cool in my book. Like, I'm feeling
I don't know how he thinks up some of this shit, man. I really don't.
Dude,
like House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
And
Devil's Rejects. I love Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
Man, what
I don't know how
that movie.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm going to say he's at the same time disappointing to me, because I think his movies can be better. Like, they're weird and they're good for what they are, but I think people had higher expectations for him. Like, when he did the Halloween remake.
That's the problem, though. He should have never gotten that job.
Yeah, like terrible to me, man. Like, I don't know. Like, but the movies with the clown guy, like Devil's Rejects, and those are fun. They were entertaining. Like,
I wouldn't call it fun.
Dude,
but
in Dave's book, that's fun.
Keeping it real though, dude.
Which is scary.
Dude, 80s movies are worse than that. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Mm-hmm. With the dude that had the little hanger, he would burn it and scrape pieces of scalp off his head and like eat it. And get that bitch, Leatherface, get that bitch. Like, remember that movie?
Yeah.
Crickets. Nobody saw it. Oh God.
I never liked those movies. The old 80s thrasher films were never
the special chili.
Just like they like your favorite movies, your action flicks from the 80s, all your Schwarzenegger and Stallone and Dolph.
Little buzzy there, Paul.
Fuck.
Paulie, when we get off the phone, I need you to go to Radio Shack and buy a new cable, please.
Chip in, would get Paul a Radio Shack gift card. Dude, Radio Shack is closing down.
I know.
Yeah, they're done. Like I went in there and I was like, no, for real? Like, for real this time? Like, you're really closing? Or is it a joke? Because, dude, they've been closing down for like 20 times now, like Sears. Yeah. Sears is like on life support. Dude, they've been on life support. Sears has been a company vegetable for like 15 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Sears' family has to pull the plug. Let go. Pull that plug. Let Sears go in peace.
How's it sound right now?
Whoa. There goes our Sears endorsement.
Yeah.
They're gone anyway. Who cares?
Maybe we can get Radio Shack before they're out the door.
We need companies on the up and coming, on the up and up. Sears is out of here. Forget you, Radio Shack.
When I went into Radio Shack for this cable, well, I have like serious feedback in my own headphones now. I told the guy that I need an XLR cable And he's like, I don't know what that is.
And that's why they're going under.
And that's
Yeah.
exactly
Dude, Circuit City, side story, story rant from like our review thing we got going here. Dude, Circuit City was terrible, dude. Dude, like I will walk in there. Can we say that? Can we like say shit?
They're
like
gone, man. It doesn't matter.
They're gone. The company's not around.
All right, so dude, I used to go in Circuit City. It was like zombie apocalypse status. Like there was like nobody on the floor. I think everybody was in the back playing dominoes. Like it was ridiculous. You couldn't find any help. When you found help, it was like the most brain dead, like
Fine, what are you
useless,
doing?
useless. Like I will help them.
Oh,
That's another thing. I just brought up another. I just thought of something else.
Hey, you're getting sidetracked, sir.
Oh, I am.
Let's talk about directors.
All right, I was gonna bring up how who worked in retail here. Raise your hand.
you know we both did.
All right, that's where we're all a little off. But how about this? I'm gonna shut up. But
All right, you got...
when you walk into a retail store and you don't work retail anymore, why do people look at you for help? It's like they can sniff the retail.
Dude, I can go
you.
into a CVS and get asked for help.
Dude, I used to work for a company. I'm not gonna drop the name, but they wore blue shirts, and I walk into another company that they wore red shirts. Why are you asking me questions? I got a blue shirt on, motherfucker.
Blue means you're most knowledgeable, sir.
Walk into
All right.
Staples. Can you help me with this chair?
All right, let's get back on
topic.
Sorry.
So yeah, watch Red State by Kevin Smith. It's great.
Okay. All right, Kevin Smith, you want me to go? I'll take the next one. Now that we went on that whole retail rant right there. Paulie,
Yes.
what started that was getting a new cable. I need you to
Wait a
work on
minute.
getting a new cable.
You guys use that as my spot? Come on, man. Don't do me like that.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm going. All right, guys, I don't know if you know this director off the top of your head. Probably want to actually say like what his movies are. You'll probably know. Edgar Wright. I don't know if you guys have heard of him.
No.
So he kind of works alongside like the same actors like we've talked about before. He did Shaun of the Dead. He did Hot Fuzz, World's End, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. He was actually the guy that was going to be doing Ant-Man. He's the one that did the short film for Ant-Man, like the promotional. And then what they did was they didn't want to film it the way he wanted to film it, so he backed out of the project. So he dropped off of Ant-Man.
Well,
some other director picked it up.
Comic book movies right now are more of a serious tone.
Yeah.
And I don't think they should, especially with a movie like Ant-Man, where it's already going to be hard enough to get a good serious crowd. You know what I mean? Like people.
Wait, you're saying, but that guy you mentioned, Bright, he's comedy.
Edgar Wright.
So,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But he
so
was.
You saying that Ant-Man should be serious?
Yeah, I think Ant-Man should be serious.
I think.
Even though Paul Rudd's playing Ant-Man.
I think they should make fun of themselves and not be serious, because if they try to take Ant-Man serious, it's gonna blow up.
Then
Ant-Man is not serious, just by the title.
Then don't waste money making that movie. I don't think they should make the movie in the first place. I think they're going, as much as I love comic book movies, I think they're just picking whatever they can to make a freaking movie about.
Dude, but look at Guardians of the Galaxy. They're like on par with Ant-Man. I didn't know who they were.
Guardians came about because it was one of the few franchises Marvel still actually owns that they can make a movie with. And so they just found one bottom of the barrel and were like, all right, let's do it.
Speaking of that, like I do think that they are pulling like superheroes like out their asses, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like it's like they're pulling like obscure heroes that
It's because of Guardians of the Galaxy, because it did so well. They were like, oh, well, if this obscure comic book that nobody really even reads, because let's face it, before that movie came out, no one gave a shit about the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I've heard of Ant-Man before Guardians, though. Like,
right. But it's still an obscure one that people probably weren't asking for that movie to be made.
Yeah.
Just like they weren't asking for Guardians. But Guardians did so well that they're like, well, we can just take any comic book hero at this point and put them into a movie.
Well, how about the ones they're coming out with now? The one that Tom Hardy just dropped out of it. Will Smith is involved. It's like a group.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Who cares?
I care.
You care? I don't give a crap, dude.
Leto as Joker and have Harley Quinn. They're gonna have.
Okay. That's cool. Joker. I want to see the new Joker. He's like the selling point, but Will Smith's character, don't give a shit.
I stopped giving a shit about Will Smith a long time ago when he did Hancock. I thought that I haven't really seen him in anything.
It was kind of Hancock was kind of lame.
Will Smith, he was Independence Day. He was Men in Black. He was a lot of good movies. Pursuit of Happiness. Now he's Hancock and any other movie that has his son in it. Ugh.
You see, I think the thing is, like, and it happens a lot in life, I think people deviate from what made them successful to try to, like, reinvent themselves or challenge themselves, and sometimes they fall flat on their face. And, like, in the case of Will Smith, I mean, who am I to judge? I'm a regular Joe. He's just like this multi-millionaire, big Hollywood guy, but, like, he kind of strayed away from, like, what made him a megastar. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He tried this superhero genre. It didn't really kick for him. He's coming back to it. After Earth was terrible. Not Earth.
After Earth.
Sorry, Brian. I didn't mean to take away from...
Somebody else mumbles. Hey, you know what? As long as we're still talking movie stuff, that's all right, you know. But what I was going to comment on before I pass it off, you know, I got like one more, but Dave, I'm pretty sure you're probably going to be mad if you don't say this director, but I'm going to wait to see if you say this director. If you should watch his style, he has like that style where he does like those quick shots to get you from one place to another place. Like, if you guys can think of Shaun of the Dead, if you think back to it, remember when they have to say that they got to go to the bar? He would do like all these like 2-second quick shots of them, you know, take a drink, get in the car, shut the door, you know, like he does all these like crazy shots all in a row. And he just has that style that he puts in all of his films. And I think that like he did that style for the Ant-Man one. So I think it would have been cool if he really did it, but I don't know. I like him as a director. I respect the way he films. So
who are we talking about that you were going to mention? You were going to mention someone?
Oh, I'm going to wait. Are you all done? Are you all out of directors?
I had somebody, but I forgot, and that happens to me often, my short-term memory.
I'm surprised you didn't bring him up.
What, the guy you just mentioned right now?
No.
Oh, I mean, I got a couple others I could spit out that I think are...
Brian, who are you talking about? Say it.
Ridley Scott.
I was just about to say
Mr. Aliens himself.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with Ridley Scott, and I'm probably gonna get hated on this. I do think he is. I wouldn't say like Hollywood royalty as a director. Well, he kind of is, but he's hit or miss to me. That's me. Like, he's either genius or he does something as meh. That's my opinion. I don't know.
Like John Carpenter. You know, like he has some that are kind of good and some that are horrible.
John Carpenter, he got The Thing, Halloween.
Yeah.
Then he has
Ghosts from Mars.
Ghosts of Mars with Desolation Williams.
And then he has some other weird horror movies.
Which I'm gonna keep it real. I mean, I get entertained by that movie. Like, I'll watch Ghosts of Mars.
Can you reenact the talk, please?
Wait, the like some gibberish, like, that's genius.
Yeah, that's
I'm serious. That's hard to write another alien language. Oh God, dude, that reminds me of man. I should not even say this because this guy will probably hunt me down. He's crazy.
Yes, because he's gonna find out.
Dude, DMX? I can't say anything bad about DMX. Like, I'm playing with fire. Like, I was gonna say, Brian, remember we used to, like, always joke, and I used to bring up, like, when people, like DMX, for example, he would make, like, the sound effects in the booth of, like, the dogs, like, and it's like, I want to be a fly on the wall in that studio and watch a grown man sit in a booth and be like,
you don't have
like
to.
rap.
Anytime you see him live on TV or anything, when they'd have him do his raps back in the day,
DMX,
he would do the same thing.
I love you. Don't shoot me.
I actually do like DMX. I like him as a rapper, and I always enjoyed him in movies.
DMX is one of the greatest of all time.
Belly, Cradle to the Grave.
Grant
those
Chip,
are all good
you know, Grant Chip.
Hey, how are we doing on time?
We're at 20 minutes.
Yeah, right.
We're at 38.
Yeah, I was gonna say we started recording right around 9:30 or 8:30.
We got a few more minutes.
That's okay. So who wants to go with another one? I think I'm all out. The only one I wanted to touch on real quick was Alfred Hitchcock. Obviously,
Who's that?
Alfred Hitchcock, Psycho, Birds, Rear Window. No,
never heard of him.
Alfred Hitchcock? You guys need to watch Psycho.
I know,
Dude,
I know Alfred Hitchcock, dude.
Wow.
He was the bald-headed fat guy.
Yeah.
If you guys both
It
did
was
not see that
Silhouette.
movie, we're done.
Dude, Bird scared the
That's
shit
the
out of me
TV
as a
show.
kid.
All right,
Dude.
all right. So he's
Hitchcock.
Dude,
in
you
the
know-
black and white.
you know I had
He
a
started it out for all the rest of these guys, you know?
Dude, I don't know. You know, I had a bird. True story. I had a bird poop in my eye one time. I was playing basketball. I went to go up for a layup, and a bird. This is like some odd shit right here. A bird just pooped right in my eye, and I played it off, and I just landed. I was like, ugh. And I kind of just like wiped my eye off. And another time, man, I can't believe I'm gonna say this on air. I was a little kid. I was walking to school, and like the timing, like bird poop was like coming down, and I walked into it and went in my mouth.
Oh,
I
you
swear.
probably have like diseases somewhere inside of you, man. Some
Right.
bird diseases.
I can't believe I just said that on there.
Is there any interference right now? Any?
No,
Oh,
you're good.
dude, you're good.
Okay. I want to read a story before we go off the air.
Oh, you're gonna open up a bomb, and we only got like 5 minutes left, so maybe you should save it.
We go to like 45 sometimes.
Yeah, but this is gonna open up a big
We
conversation.
got like 5 minutes.
All right, but we need to wrap it up.
All
I know
right,
you
all
want to do it, Paul, but it's
Wrap it up, B.
we're not gonna be able to
Always wrap it
talk
up,
about
kids.
that and then finish the show.
This is for
All
the
right,
kids.
you don't
The
want me to
show's for
talk
the
about it.
kids. Wrap it up all the time.
We'll save it for the beginning of the next one.
And by then, it's going to be 2 weeks late for these people.
Okay. If you want to talk about it, then we got to go to an
it's so
hour.
late. It's done.
Well,
We gotta go
what
to
was
an
the
hour.
story, dude? I was waiting. Let's go.
So Michelle Rodriguez basically went on record saying that minorities need to stop taking white superheroes away.
Okay.
They need to stop changing these superheroes who were traditionally white
Mhm.
to fit minority roles for them. And that, but she wasn't saying it to be racist. She's saying stop basically from anyone like taking one race of superheroes and making it into your own. Create new heroes. Create new heroes of your race.
Well,
She's Hispanic, so
being
just-
of the Hispanical descent myself, I don't know what to say about that comment. Like, I think,
well, we've had this discussion. It's the same thing as, you know, and we got to make this short. Brian's right, but
Brian said we're going to go to an hour.
it's the same thing like when we talked about Thor
It's
is a woman now. You're changing the whole backstory of a superhero at that point,
yeah.
and
Well-
it's not to take away anything from minorities on the fact at all. Like I love it, but I think she's got a point. Like stop changing the identities of something that already exists to make it fit. Create your own.
Well, I mean, it's oh man, it's so weird to like touch on that because like, what was she quoted saying exactly that the Hispanics are stealing roles from like white actors?
Just minorities are going into are being there's like white stereotypical white characters that are being taken by minorities. Like they're turning characters into minority characters.
That's a weird comment though, because there are a lot of Hispanics that actually look white, like you know what I mean, light eyes and you know that's a weird comment. Like
I think she might be saying like the Fantastic Four guy, you know, like
yeah.
or
Maybe she didn't word it correctly.
Well, she went back and she was basically made a statement saying, "Listen, I didn't mean to come off rude. What I'm saying is that they're basically taking." Hold on, let me pull up the exact story. I have it right here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have
Said
an issue.
it's not about taking Catwoman or Superwoman or Superman or Green Lantern and trying to make them fit to whatever cultural background you are. I just feel like it should be more creative than that, and I think that people need to stop being lazy.
It's tough. It's tough. That's tough to like touch on because like it goes both ways. And one token, she's right, and another side of the coin, sometimes it works. You know what I mean? Like look at Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, and I said
Which
this
is brought up in the article.
yeah, I mean I said this in one of the previous episodes. Like a lot of people were, you know, bitching about it. Nick Fury's a older white dude with like graying hair on the side, and I'm a fan of keeping the comics how how do I even word it? How they were originally like intended, like written. But that was when that was like really successful or worked. I mean, I can't picture anybody else's Nick Fury now. You know, like it's I don't know. Ryan, you got a comment on it?
I mean, like what? I guess I kind of see where she's coming from, but in the same case, Hollywood seems to try to always reinvent themselves. If she's saying that there should be created, like if they want to have more Hispanic or more Black or more Indian, like superhero styles, and if she's saying that we should be creating superheroes or we're creating characters, like new characters within the worlds to utilize that, I understand where she's coming from that way.
Yeah.
But something that's old and tired to kind of reinvent it, you know, like you have an old superhero, sometimes Hollywood has to change their way. You know, they gotta make it fresh. They gotta make it new. They gotta change it up. Like Samuel L. Jackson's a great example. Like you said, he did an awesome job.
Yeah.
You know, and this kid, we don't know for Fantastic Four if he's gonna knock it out of the park. If you know, with his character, it's just
but the thing is with that, there's too much.
The brother and sister thing.
Yeah, there's too much time to that character that like, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be hard to pull that off. We'll see what they do. Before we end this episode, I don't know when you guys want to cut it, or if we're making it a little longer or whatever, but I got to touch on one thing that just happened. Like, this is like news. I think it just happened yesterday or the day before.
Okay. I wanted to end the episode with a director that you really don't like.
Okay.
So go ahead with yours.
A director that I don't like?
No. Go ahead with whatever news you had.
Oh, the news that I was going to say.
That's what I wanted I wanted to end the show.
We can't be a film webcast or podcast and say we're like into film or the film industry and not pay respect to Leonard Nimoy.
Oh, I can't believe we didn't bring that up.
He just passed away. He was 83 years old. Talk about entertainment royalty, like, you know what I mean? Like,
true story.
You know, he portrayed one of the most iconic characters on TV entertainment history. You know, right now Brian's throwing up the Vulcan. Matter of fact, let's all do it.
That was
Leonard, you know it's got to get bleeped out, man.
No, that's fine. You can say that. It's so Emma and Julia.
That was really. We can't keep that, dude. We can't keep that. But let's just drop a little. Let's drop some symbols for the audience listening. We're each doing the Nimoy Vulcan. Okay, I'm just doing it.
We're paying respect. We're paying respect.
And I'm gonna say,
you did a good job.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper. All right, so.
All jokes aside, I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
No.
R.I.P.
It was a sad day. Like,
R.I.P.
William Shatner's probably sweating. He's probably like, man, I'm right there.
He's sweating because of all the controversy around him not going to the funeral today.
Oh, why couldn't he make it? What was this?
He had
Travelocity
he had a
commercial.
commitment in Florida to do a charity event, and he wasn't able to find a flight from Florida to LAX in the middle of the night after the event. He didn't want to cancel a charity event that he committed 2 months ago. You know.
See, but here's the thing, dude. Like, everybody mourns differently. Like, what if he didn't want to go to the funeral? Like, I'm the type of guy, like, I don't like funerals. I don't like to see people in that state. I like to remember them how they were, and maybe he just didn't want to see his friend that way. You know, like, he's coming back anyway. Did you see Star Trek 3? They search for Spock. Oh, that was bad. I'm sorry.
It's gonna be weird. All right, so you want to end it on our least favorite director?
Yeah, a director that everybody. I think obviously
I wasn't prepared for this.
Well, I'd like to throw you curveballs. So what I think is, when I was looking through all the lists of directors, I was looking through the list and saying, okay, these guys get all these credit, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for the one I'm going to say. But these guys they're not up there in the top directors. You know, they're not in the top ring. I guess they kind of are, But in my eyes, I don't think that they are. I think they heavily relied on people around them.
Michael
So,
Bay.
no. Well, that might be yours. Mine, I'll embrace the hate here. I think George Lucas gets way too much credit as a director. He heavily relies on every single one else around him. George Lucas was attached to Indiana Jones. The only reason Indiana Jones was as successful as it was because Steven Spielberg. Star Wars is good, but like, is Star Wars as a film like one of the top films out there?
Yes.
Can you put Jurassic Park, and can you put like Schindler's List, and can you put like Shawshank Redemption and stuff like that? I know they're different categories, but as far as the way that those films make you feel and the way that when you walk out or when you're done watching them, I think that they, as a director, they get to you more. Star Wars is just like a fun Star Wars movie. And if you look at George Lucas, the only thing that he has as directorial credits on anything is Star Wars.
And American Graffiti.
No, American Graffiti was Ron Howard.
Ron Howard was in it, but he didn't direct it.
He was either director or producer.
I could touch
Ron
on
Howard
this.
was too young. Too young.
I could definitely touch on some Lucas whenever it's my go.
But I think that for you, Star Wars might not have that feeling, but for myself, it's my favorite movie of all time.
Well, then let me ask you this: Why didn't you bring him up as one of your top directors? Because he's not in the same category.
No. I don't.
James Cameron
that,
and
I
Steven
don't
Spielberg.
think he is.
Yeah.
I don't. No. I won't take that away from you. I agree.
Yeah.
He's not. But Star Wars wouldn't be Star Wars without, obviously. I mean, he wrote it, but I think that was a greatly directed movie. Very well directed, I guess.
I think great movie, but I don't give the director as much credit. I don't know.
I think maybe I'm mistaken, but I think like Star Wars is like totally Lucas's baby, right, Paul? Like,
yeah.
It was all from his brain. So if that's the case, which I think it is, unless I'm mistaken, but I think in that respect he's a genius. Like I'm gonna say that. In that respect, I'm gonna say he's a genius. It's not easy coming up with like an original concept, like an idea. I mean, I think he pretty much did that with Star Wars. That's pretty innovative, like the effects for its time. But I'm also gonna say I kind of also side with you, Bri. I mean, I agree and I disagree. And the part that I agree with is that I think he established himself. He created something amazing and original, and he's like etched in history forever. But I think he rode those coattails for decades.
I mean,
I think he hasn't really done anything other than Star Wars. That big.
I don't think he has directed anything else. And yes, he did direct American Graffiti.
But the magic that was the first three, he couldn't capture that. And was it 1, 2, and 3? Because the other ones were 4, 5, 6, the originals.
Right. He couldn't.
1, 2,
that
and 3,
wasn't because of poor writing, because he actually, if I remember correctly, had those 3 stories written first, and that's why when the first 3 movies came out, it was 4, 5, and 6, because he already had the entire 6 movies written, but because of the technological drawbacks or setbacks in those times, he couldn't feasibly make the first 3 of the trilogy of the whole series. Is it
safe to say he is an all-time respected writer
and director?
Are we talking about director or writer?
See, we're talking about directors on this show, and I don't see him as getting put in the top ranks as one of the top directors of all time.
I think he has to be put in top 10 by default, by just creating Star Wars, dude. But I do agree that he's writing and rode those coattails for but those are some pretty long coattails. It's Star Wars, you know what I mean? So, Paul, you got anything else on that? I know you're a huge Star Wars fan.
I am, but no. Because I don't disagree. I don't think he's I amazing director. I don't think he's up there with the Scorsese and the Spielbergs. But I do think he makes top 10, but I don't think he's top 5 or anything.
But let me point this out. Indiana Jones was a Lucas and Spielberg baby, and I call me crazy, but I see shades of Star Wars in Indiana Jones, like the action.
Well, absolutely.
I think Lucas wrote it. I think he wrote it.
Yeah, and that wouldn't have been as successful.
Spielberg directed it.
He wanted Spielberg to direct it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see Lucas in that movie. Like it's that similar kind of action, like
those two, that'd be like any of us writing something, having Brian direct it, and we know that it's going to come out how we wanted it to, because he shares the same vision as us, just like Spielberg and Lucas do. They share the same type of vision. They're so close.
Did you just bring reality into this, Paul? Like our
yes.
stuff?
Yeah.
What was the comment?
Every single director, every single thing that I've directed, you can hear Dave's voice that he wrote through the acting and through whatever it is, because you can always hear the writer, so it definitely, I agree with that.
So
I wrote Dutton Road, homie.
You did. So you can see you coming through there. No, don't. The truck.
I've gotten a little bit better since then.
But okay, touching on that, that's
Josh wrote Rival. I haven't written anything that I've directed, actually, to be honest.
Like touching on that, the relationship between a director and a writer, it's think about this, like when you have a movie like Indiana Jones, when you have a movie like Jurassic Park, it doesn't have to be Spielberg. I just for some reason thought of those movies. Matrix,
because he's done 10,000 movies that are all amazing.
Yeah, it could be any successful movie. For a movie to be like that successful and that timeless, it's like lightning in a bottle, because sometimes you have an amazing script and the director butchers it and screws up the story. Sometimes you have an amazing director and the material sucks. So like it's for both to come together and be like a perfect blend and balance and create something that is magical. It's a rare thing, to have a hit like that. So that's my little 2 cents on director and writer.
We got a wrap, fellas.
We're at 56 right now.
Holy crap! Okay,
it's gonna be a long show. So I just want to remind everyone, all of our viewers, seems like the viewer count and the listening count is going up, but our Twitter following is not. We're stuck at like 8 followers right now, and one of them is my own personal Twitter page.
8 followers, like 7 of them are like different accounts by Paul.
Only one. I do know 3 of them personally, though.
Dude, I'm so out of the loop with Twitter. I don't even know how it works.
Our Twitter account is twitter.com, and it's at Newbreed Film. Simple. Get on there, follow us. You'll get updates on, when the new podcasts are going to be coming out, any special events we might, special casts we might be doing, special projects we're working on, behind the scenes photos, all that kind of stuff.
I'm going to throw up the web addresses. The email, I think I remember. Newbreed Films.
Good. You need to check it, because it's possible that people are emailing us and we don't know.
I check it, not a soul emails. Newbreed Film Reviews 2014 at gmail.com. And for our strictly audio podcasts, for you people driving to work in the morning, because I know you want to tune in, and on your way to work, stuck in traffic, you want to hear us talk about movies.
Even at work. Or at the gym.
I'm going to put that link up. And
cool.
At the gym, they'll fall asleep. They need adrenaline.
Make sure you like us on iTunes. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Comment on our YouTube page.
Yep. We're also on it's Podomatic. Podomatic as well. So
subscribe to us on Podomatic. I know we have 1 follower, but I don't think that they actually listen to our show.
We are now officially diversified.
We got some bottled spring water coming out, and some
beer. I have some beer.
Some Newbreed fruit snacks.
Yeah.
So make sure you pick those up.
All right, so this concludes our episode 6, talking about our favorite directors. Thanks for checking us out, and we'll be back for episode 7 8, 9, 10. You know,
Yeah,
we'll just keep going.
We're shooting for. We discussed this amongst ourselves. We're shooting for like 12 episodes to kind of make it a season, and
Yep. Then we'll take a break and come back to it.
We might come back to
Yep.
video. We're definitely gonna still do
Bigger
audio,
and better.
Yep.
I'll have upgraded cables and whole
Paul's gonna
podcast.
go to
studio.
Radio Shack.
Buy out the whole shit. All right, gentlemen.
All
You
right,
have
gentlemen.
a good night,
You too.
All right, guys.
and thank you for
Adios.
listening.
Good night. 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 Good night.